Welcome to Law and Society. Please subscribe and let's talk about the distractions and the machinations that we're seeing the coming out of the GOP right now. So we got Matt Gaetz's House report, and you'll notice that it came out at such a time that Donald Trump was getting a lot of pressure for his nominees and his appointments. And so I am I'm skeptical about GOP's intentions of releasing Matt Gaetz's scandal report, his salacious details, because you know the crowd gravitates towards scandal and it can't live without it. And so the truth sort of sinks to the bottom, and the alarm of the nominations and the appointments takes sort of a back seat. And then Donald Trump has these expansionist, ambitions, and talks about annexing Panama and Greenland, and he's been joking about Canada becoming the 51st state for quite some time because Donald Trump is a bully. He is in a position where, should the United States want to be an imperialist, annexing juggernaut, it can be, because it has the military power to be that exact thing. But is that where our country needs to go? The fact that we are talking about that we are in an extreme situation now. And on the other side of Donald Trump's expansionist ambitions and teases, as CNN would put it, territorial expansion teases, as opposed to imperialist annexations to build an empire. And then on the flip side of it, there's this isolationist America First sort of posturing. And this, the similarity between how Hitler balanced the two, one of national purity, of Aryan purity, and then expanding throughout Europe because of this idea that I suppose that everywhere there is an Aryan population, and so they're going to wipe out everybody. I don't know wipe out everybody else. So only the Aryan people. It's that sort of like apocalyptic, nihilistic thinking, and Donald Trump is seesawing between being an empire building psychopath or an isolationist psychopath, or both. You don't really know. But what I want to really point out and pay attention to for all of us is Donald Trump's nominations and his appointments, and where his money is coming from, and who is giving him money. We know about Elon Musk publicly, but there are many, many, many more who we don't know publicly, who are going to curry favor from Donald Trump because they have paid money. And we're seeing that in the ambassadorships. We're seeing that in the nomination for certain government positions. And mind you, both the expansionist machinations and the actual bribery that is happening in open and plain view is oligarchical. It's not populist. It's authoritarian, and it's imperial, and it's not populist, as he packaged himself to the American people. And what a lot of his followers believe that he will do, which is bring down the cost of living, which he has already, that promise, the mandate for the 2024 election was bringing down the cost of living. And he has already said that, once inflation goes up, bringing down is very difficult. He doesn't want to take responsibility for his main campaign promise. So, but that's going away, that is what we should be focusing on. That the fact that he's just quite flippantly promising and then breaking the promise before even getting into office. We should pay attention to his nominations, not just Pete Hegseth, but also the other inferior officer nominations that he has made. We need to pay attention to who is giving him money and who is getting the nominations, because it's a bribery scheme in open and plain view. And thanks to the Supreme Court's ruling in Trump versus United States, the immunity ruling, his appointment power is plenary, just like how the pardon power is plenary. So with the advice and consent of the Senate, he can appoint anybody he wants. He can nominate whoever he wants, as long as the GOP Senate goes along with it. And that's why it's so important to call Senator John Thune of South Dakota, who will be Senate Majority Leader in the upcoming Congress, and tell him to say no to the extreme candidates, to say no to Hegseth, to Gabbard, to Patel, and to RFK Jr. Those are the primary four, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And they need to be not nominated and confirmed. They need to be rejected by the Senate. So with that said, I got a little distracted and went off on different tangents. But the point is, the distraction is being made by GOP at this time with Matt Gaetz's report, because salacious details is what people gravitate towards. It's gossip. And then you have Donald distracting with his expansionist teases of taking Canada and making it the 51st state. And all of that is taking away from the corruption that is happening in open and plain view. And I wish that the media would pick up on that and make that the lead of their coverage, as opposed to burying the lead and going after, if he's teasing about territorial expansion when you're talking about invading and annexing countries. You may want to look at your priorities and whether you really still are the free press or not. Words have power, and how you use them makes a difference. So with that said, thank you so much for listening. Talk to you soon. Please like and subscribe and share.